What is going on, everyone? RJ here. And in today's video, we are going to do something super exciting and super special. We are going to be interviewing, for many that do not know, that don't have Twitter, we're going to be interviewing Stonedpipes. And Stonedpipes is let me show my screen here. Stonedpipes over here has 20.8 thousand followers. All right. If you guys aren't on Twitter, then chances are you don't know much about him. But if you are on Twitter, then I am 95% sure that the vast majority of you that are in passive income plays or node projects absolutely 100% have heard of Stonedpipes. And that is who our special guest is today. So I'm super excited to introduce him. Stonedpipes, what's going on, brother?
What's up, brother? Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
For sure. So, like I said, a lot of people, so Pipes and I got together to kind of collaborate together here because Pipes has noticed that a lot of people ask him the same questions over and over, right? So he ends up answering a lot of questions. It's the same with me on YouTube. A lot of people ask me the same questions over and over. But hopefully in this video, what we can do is we can kind of address some of those questions and go over like how, Pipes came to be what he is today and how he got started, how much he got started with, his background, and to kind of give you guys a little bit of tips to help navigate not only the crypto market, but what he looks for in terms of projects that he wants to invest in, right? So, Pipes, you good with that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool, man. So first and foremost, a lot of people want to know what is your favorite strain of green, man? Is it indica? Is it sativa?
Oh man, it mostly depends on the occasion, if it's daytime or nighttime. But I'm mostly sativa. Sativa keeps me focused. It keeps me moving. It's always wanting me to do something. Rather, if I smoke indica, then I'm gone for the rest of the day. I'm just gonna sleep.
I hear you. Very cool. Well, I hope that answers that. I know everyone's always seen your tweets where you're like, I just woke up, packed the bowl, smoking it up, ready to go, right?
No,
So everyone's always wondering about that.
yeah. When it comes to the favorite strain part, I would have to say Gorilla Glue. Have you ever tried that one?
I have not tried Gorilla Glue. I'm typing it right now.
Yeah, that one has to be one of my favorite strains right there. Gorilla Glue. I know they actually had a problem with the name of the strain just because the actual glue that's
Yeah,
named
yeah, the
after that.
pen.
But yeah, that one for sure has to be one of my top picks for sure.
I love it. So we're kind of going right into pretty much your origin story, right? You don't have to go super in depth with it, but these two questions we're going to kind of combine where it says your journey from $100 to where you're at today, and the other question that kind of piggybacked on it was how much did you actually start off with in the beginning? So from the beginning to where you're at today.
All right, so I got into crypto back in 2017, top of the bull run. Started investing all the way 2018 till now. It was a hard run in the beginning because back in 2018, that's kind of the start of the bear market, and I was investing maybe whatever I could. Each time I got paid, it wasn't a whole lot, maybe like $20 here, $50 here, $100 here every 2 weeks. Once in a while, I'll put in a couple thousand, but as the bear market went, the prices just kept tanking and tanking.
So you're saying you pretty much you were dollar cost averaging in as everything was tanking.
No, yeah, exactly. That's pretty
So
much the start of it. So I did that for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years, I guess, till we are now.
okay, so pretty much, and that's good. That's actually good to know, right? So a lot of people, let me share, put my webcam here. So a lot of people actually, the newer investors, they get frustrated because a lot of them did buy at the top of the market, just like you did, right? But as the market continued kind of heading towards that bear market, which we're kind of at right now, right? Would you agree we're kind of at a bear market? Node projects are down and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, almost everything's down across the board. I mean, we're
yeah.
waiting. I'm hoping there's at least one last run up, but it seems like, yeah, we're entering that point of the bear market all over again.
That is interesting, and I really like hearing that, and I'm sure a lot of people actually like hearing that because for newer investors that bought at the top, and all of a sudden here we are at the very bottom, like, yo, what's going on? Strong is at like $120. I bought it at $400. I bought it at $300. Is this it? Is it over? And so when they hear that, you know, you bought initially at the top of the market, just putting in what you can from every paycheck, whether that's $50, whether that's $60. And then as it continued to like go down, you just continue to dollar cost average in there. You just continue to put in what you can, even at the bottom of the market. Now, this is what I tell a lot of people in my channel is, and you can let me know if you agree or not, but I think that wealth, like real wealth and millionaires, are born in bear markets. That's where everything is on sale. I know a lot of people always say, "Oh, buy the dip, buy the dip." I've quoted Buffett for a while now, where I say, Buffett says, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful." When there's a bear market, there's a lot of fear going on, right? People are scared, they don't know what to do, but that's the time to really like continue to dollar cost average, continue to add into your position. And when the inevitable bull market goes and kicks in, now you're riding all those waves up, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm doing currently at the moment. I mean, I know a lot of these node projects are down, but what I'm focusing more is mostly on developments and what I think is going to last like a long time. So
Absolutely.
what I base off that is, I mean, I look at the white paper, of course. I look at the tokenomics. I look at the team. I look at the Discord. I check out the community, see if they're really active. But those are the top of things I kind of look for when it comes to investing in a new project.
I love it. Appreciate that. So the next question here is, well, I guess you answered it. The next question was, how long have you been in crypto? So you said you've been in crypto since 2017, right?
Yeah, kind of like towards right at the end, like around December.
Okay. And did you actually start with DeFi, or were you buying like blue chip cryptos?
No, at the time I was all XRP, Bitcoin, H bar. What's the other one? Quant. A lot of the OGs that kind of are still around today. Those
Okay.
are the ones I was really investing in heavy.
Okay. And when did you like when did you find DeFi where you're like, okay, here are blue chips with XRP, we got Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden you got DeFi right under it, which is crazy. It's a just crazy world to live in. When did you find DeFi?
Oh, it's kind of a funny story. So, you know, me investing into crypto for I don't know how many years, I kept telling my girlfriend, I was like, oh, you know, don't worry, you know, the price of this coin's about to shoot up to this price by, you know, this time frame due to this, due to that. And I don't know how many times I told her, it doesn't matter, you know, which crypto I'm talking about, but every
Hmm?
single time I'll be like, oh, don't worry, you know, by next month, you know, we're gonna at least two times our money, three times our money. And, you know, after me always having to repeat that, she's like, look, you know, you've been telling me the same thing for like the past 3 4 years. Like, it's not going to happen. You know, she says, you know, they're telling you this, but, you know, I don't see any difference. It only goes up like 2 cents. Like, so once she told me that, I was like, damn, I have been saying that for like quite a while. So then, you know, I was looking up one night, I was looking at projects trying to see what I could find. And then I found out Strong Block like around June of last year, and that's when pretty much everything changed for me.
Yeah, I have a similar story. I tell people this all the time as well, right? When people think of crypto or when people are starting to get on crypto, it's natural that they think of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, right? Your like mainstream media cryptos. But
Yeah,
what they don't understand and what they don't know is there's like this completely separate world that lives in crypto, which is DeFi, where it's like the absolute wild, wild west. But you can make an insane amount of money in DeFi if you just learn DeFi, right? And Strong was the game changer for me as well because what I did was my background is similar. I started with like Dogecoin because I felt like I was so late on Bitcoin. I was like, man, I just want to get my feet in the door, right? I just want to
yeah,
buy something not so serious. So I bought Dogecoin, and then the natural like what ended up naturally happening is I got more like intrigued in it. I was like, okay, well, what actually did I put money in here? And so
yeah,
I started like getting into Dogecoin, and then I found SafeMoon, and then from there, I was just like, okay, cool. Crypto is cool, right? From my understanding, crypto is you just find a project that you really like, you buy it, and you hold it and hope it moonshots, right?
yeah.
And then, bro, in November, that's when I found Strong. And I was like, what is this? What is this like money printing machine. And I started doing more research on it. I did research on the team. I did research on the community. I was looking at other YouTubers. I was looking at other influencers. Like, this thing is literally printing money and people don't know about it, right? This was around like November. And so Strong was the same for me. Like, it was Strong that first started it, and then I started getting into like it. It's like taking the red pill. It opened my eyes
No, it
to
really does.
yeah. So you got it on Strong. You said June.
Yeah, around June. Now, what really kind of disappointed me at the time, where I guess, I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, you could kind of guess my memes off. But at the time, when I found out about Strong Block, I was like, man, this is really game changing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first thing I did was kind of reach out to some of the influencers that I kind of looked up to, and
Dang.
I said, oh, you guys got to check out Strong Block. Look at the ROI and check out the team. It seems pretty solid. I told him, I kind of like what I'm looking at. And surprisingly, all the influencers I brought it up to, they all kind of turned it down. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh no, don't invest in it. It's a Ponzi, and you're gonna lose all your money. And instead buy this coin, just hold and this and that. So at that point, I was like, all right, do I keep following these influencers that have a little bit more credibility and kind of seem like they know what they're doing, or do I kind of go off of my own research and my own opinion on this project?
For sure.
And once I kind of like brought those two together, I was like, well, technically, no one really knows what's going on in the space. I mean, anything can change any moment.
Yep.
I really like what Strong Block's doing, so I said, I'm a go for it. So I initially just started with five strong nodes. I kept that maybe for about like a month.
Yeah.
I
How
really
much
like
was that costing you at the time? What was Strong price at June?
To be honest, it was more expensive than what it is now. When I got into Strong, it was maybe around 220-ish.
Okay. Okay.
So, I started off with 5 strong nodes, and then I just kept looking into a project, and I was like, man, it's a matter of time before everyone starts finding out about this, right? So, I talked it over with my girl, because it's at the time, it's really both of our investments.
For sure.
And I said, would you be okay if I sold, let's say, this asset and this other couple just for Strong? And she said, well, is it gonna make us money? And I was like, I think so. So, she gave me the green light. So I sold a good amount of assets, and I started off with, I think, 20 strong nodes, and
Wow.
that's where the obsession started growing. And then the deeper I dug into Strong Block, I found out about Ohm,
Okay.
and then that's where the 99 came in, and it just completely just skyrocketed my portfolio.
Yeah, if people don't know who Ohm is Olympus, right?
Yeah.
Olympus DAO. They were, that's when DAOs were still up and coming last year. I got introduced to Time Wonderland, right? So I did Strong and Time Wonderland. And then, of
Okay.
course, that Time, if you know what's going on with Time's
Oh
been a little
yeah.
crazy. But yeah, no, that's really cool. I mean, DAOs also was insane. I was looking at other people, after I saw Strong, I saw Time Wonderland and Ohm. And I was like, I'll go into Time Wonderland because I know we saw Daniele. He was public. There was interviews of him, so I felt like confident. But
Yeah.
man, that was crazy also. So the
No.
next question, Pipes, is what was your background before this?
So before crypto, I was actually a lead engineer for Bloom. Now, what Bloom does is that they manufactured solid oxide fuel cells, and what these do is they produce electricity, kind of a way like a battery does.
Damn, that's crazy. So I think you and I were talking beforehand because I also was a senior engineer for a financial institute, and it's always crazy hearing people's backgrounds on what they did before starting into crypto. Now, are you still working there, or are you fully retired into crypto, full-time crypto?
Man, after working like 3, 4 years graveyard for this company and having to
Oof.
deal with a team of like 10 people, being a lead or supervisor, any lead role is kind of like babysitting. I'm just so glad I'm just not working there anymore.
So you are fully retired.
Yeah, I'm full on crypto now.
Very cool. When did you retire?
Actually, around November of last year.
Wow, it's crazy because I retired in September. So I was working in corporate. I worked in corporate since I was 19, man. And every single time, I was always looking, I was like, man, I think we're meant to do more, honestly, than work 9 to 5 the rest of our lives. Now, there's nothing wrong with that for people that want that kind of structure, but for entrepreneurs and like critical minded thinkers, I questioned every single day as I got more and more into like corporate and stuff. I was like, man, life is too short. Life is too short for someone else to have that much control over my life, whether that's time, them telling me I can only take 2 or 3 weeks worth of vacation, or the amount of money I can make, or even worse, the level of control where they can just let me go. There's not
Yeah.
enough funds, or the company's not doing well, or the economy's not doing well, so we have to cut some people off. Having that much control over my life, that didn't sit well with me. So I started striving. I think it was around 2000. It was either 2017 also or 2018 where I started really looking into how do I invest wisely, right? Whether that's real estate, whether that's equities, and then eventually I took all of everything I learned between that time and applied it into crypto. But I quit September of last year, man. I couldn't do it anymore. I was doing YouTube. I had some rental properties that was paying pretty much for all my bills, and then I was day trading also. So I was like, I can do this. My girlfriend was the one that pushed me. She was like, listen, you're miserable AF. Just quit. You can do this. Worst comes to worst, you can Uber Eats. You can do some Lyft just to make other things meet. I was like, you're right. I'd rather do that. So I did quit September. So you and I were pretty much right there, right? You're November, I was September.
No, yeah, and the thing is, like, once you start bringing in DeFi and you start making like 10 times what you did at one job at your, previous job, it's like, why am I even working at this point?
Exactly. It is literally the Matrix. You take the red pill and you can't unsee the amount of money you can make in DeFi.
Yeah, and it's really sometimes a little bit overwhelming. It's like now I'm at the point where I kind of don't want to say how much I make or what I have, because if I would say it, to be honest, most people now, especially if they just follow me, they'll just kind of think I'm just, just trying to hype myself up basically.
Sure.
But the people who have been following me for a while, they seen the progress over the last couple of months.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not to your level whatsoever, bro. Like not at all. But I'm getting to a point where I have to watch what I show too, because on YouTube and a lot of people truly are crazy. But in your instance, when you start showing how much you make, you'll always get two separate types of people. You'll get those that are like, well, he's just flexing and trying to show off, and then you'll have the other group which I land in, where I get like actually inspired, right? I get fired up. I was like, dang, Pipes is killing it. How can I get there? It's the same book. Have you ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad?
I read it, but I didn't finish it.
Okay. So what ends up happening in Rich Dad Poor Dad, right, is it's a simple mindset shift. Instead of saying, wow, I cannot afford that, they need to shift that mentality to how can I afford that? So when I see people like you and Node Baron and all these other people making an absolute killing, yes, you'll always get the small amount of people that's like, wow, good for you. They're always going to be miserable. They're always going to be negative. But the other side of that is people like me, where I actually do get fired up. I get inspired. I'm like, dang, how can I get to that level? I mean, it's an awesome thing. Obviously, that's up to your discretion, of course, moving forward, right? Whether or not you want to show what you're making. But the last time you did show it, bro, I showed all my friends. I was like, bro, Pipes is killing it. And so I got inspired by it. My friends got inspired by it. So I mean, it's legit, man.
No, yeah, your mindset really sets you apart in this space. I mean, if you're always negative, if you're always trying to bring down every single project, I mean, it's a big chance that, your portfolio is not doing too good. But
For
I
sure.
mean, it's all a law of attraction. If
Yes.
if you really want something, you got to set goals and you got to set your attention towards it, and you have to have that laser focus. You have side blocks sometimes where I get rugged still a couple of times, but does that stop me from, investing into other projects? No, because I mean, eventually you'll find a project that's going to change everything.
For sure. I love it. It's mindset. And I try to tell people that all the time. It is mindset. Now, here's a fun question. So since then, right, what's the best thing you've done for your family and loved ones since you started earning the big bucks?
Well, since I started making a good amount, I mean, I retired myself. I retired my girlfriend. I actually told my parents, you know, if they would retire and if I would kind of help them. But I mean, my parents are just always wanting to work. They never want to be at the house. Surprisingly, they turned it down. But I think they turned it down just because they probably didn't believe me. E- Even now, I tell them, oh, if you want, I could buy you guys a car. But they're like, I don't think they believe that I'm making this much.
I mean, it's that you touched on a crazy point, right? Because so you said you offered to retire your parents, which is crazy because I told myself that that is a goal that I want to do, hopefully by the end of the year, right? I want to be able to fully retire my parents, and I haven't even told them. So hopefully they don't watch my videos because then they'll be expecting it. But the first thing I want to do is I want to be able to purchase their property so that they're mortgage free, right? Completely mortgage free. That way they can retire however the heck they want, and if they need assistance, Brett, DeFi will pay for it, right? But as of right now, it is so crazy to even say it out loud, to tell your friends that, hey, listen, in corporate, I was making six figs, but in DeFi, I'm making 50 times that.
Yeah, it's insane. What's funny is I remember telling my dad I retired, and I still can't forget his response. His response was, I didn't expect much, but he said, "What about Social Security?" And I was like, "What?" Oh man, that guy's hilarious. And I mean, I offered him. I said, I could provide for you and my mom as well if that's
Yep.
what you're wanting to do. But he just always wants to work. He just cannot stay home. It seems. I think even at the moment he's working two jobs,
Wow.
and I give him offer after offer, and he just always turns everything down.
Yeah. Here's a question that I'd love to ask you because I was thinking about this and maybe you started thinking about this too. It's because trying to teach our parents DeFi, it's just too much work, right? Let's be honest. And they can get rugged, they can get scammed, they can get targeted, they can get hacked. It's easier for us to pretty much take care of it and just give them the money. Have you considered building them their own node portfolio?
Yeah, I mean, I have like maybe six wallets.
Okay.
That's another thing. People sometimes ask me about security. What am I doing with all these node projects? But I have like maybe four laptops, like three phones that are specifically just for one project, where
Hmm.
it makes it a lot easier too. So you're not trying to claim and cash out every single day. So I try to make a list where every single week I cash out of one project or two projects. It all depends. But I
Yeah.
have thought about making them a MetaMask. But to be
Yeah.
honest, I mean, my parents barely know how to use an email at the moment. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm just going to make it worse. I'm just going to really confuse them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that I've been interested in learning how to do also. Is like how do I truly retire my parents without them, because my parents are they're old school Asian, right? So, you know, how do I provide for them without being like, yo, here's money, because that sometimes
Yeah.
to an individual that feels weird, right? Oh, here's the money. So figuring out I was taking a lot of time to figure out what is the best way to do it. So maybe if I create, like you said, create their own MetaMask wallet with their own seed phrase, I'll manage it, right? But that way it feels like to them, they're taking money out of their account and then I'm just handling it on the backside. You know what I'm saying? So I
No,
was
yeah.
thinking about something like that. I was like, listen, I want to retire my parents. They've worked hard for X amount of years. They put up with my BS, right, growing up. And so they deserve to retire comfortably without having to worry about anything. And DeFi, I truly believe, and I think you do as well, has that potential to do that.
No, yeah, exactly. I just, at the end of the day, I just told my parents if they need anything or if they want anything, just let me know and I'll get it taken care of. But as of now, yeah, I'm actually thinking about creating them their own, like you said, create their own little MetaMask. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, whether they know about it or not, it's going to be created. And whenever they decide that they're too tired, or if I hear them complain about work, or, I'm going to show them what they have, and hopefully
Yeah.
they kind of embrace it and go from there.
Yeah, I think it'll be difficult for them to not accept it, right? Let's fast forward time and they say, you know what, I'm tired of working. You can just present it and be like, hey, well, I created a wallet for you. You don't have to learn it. You don't have to know how to transfer anything around it. I'll manage it for you. But you have like six figures in there waiting right now. So if you ever want to like take money off of it, it's yours. And I think that's a better way to present it for myself and my parents.
No, yeah, because it's a really good feeling. I know when I started my girlfriend's MetaMask wallet, and we started a bunch of strong nodes and all that. It's a really good feeling seeing like someone you care about actually, seeing it firsthand how it's like,
Hmm.
claiming your rewards, cashing it out. Her getting the same money like in 5 minutes in Coinbase. It's a really good feeling helping out
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, absolutely. And to touch on that, that's really cool because my girlfriend actually just opened her crypto.com account. So we're gonna use that as the on and on board for her cryptos. So she's getting into it, man. She's excited. So this is exciting. So the first question here is for those only starting off in the space and want to make it big, what tips would you give? And is it too late to get into DeFi slash nodes? Do you think it'll last another 1 or 2 years in your own opinion?
I think, I mean, the developments of these projects, they're coming from just being nodes to now they're trying to start their own ecosystems. Now, the most important thing is trying to pick up projects that, for sure they're going to be here. That's the tricky part because anything could kind
Hmm.
of go sour in the DeFi world. But what I tend to look at is just developments and just progress. Doesn't matter if the price goes down. If I see the project still building, still making developments, that's what I kind of look for.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, you touched on a topic that's it's just so crazy because DeFi changes from day to day. People say like a day or a week in crypto is like a year in the real world because things just happen so quickly. And that's why you need to be able to be adaptable, right? You need to be able to adapt to the market conditions. And if you're checking out projects and something changed, and all of a sudden, the project that you're involved in or invested in, if something changes, it's up to you as an investor to know if that project is going under or they're just going through a road bump and they're still continuing to build. And that is an important part of being in DeFi is being able to recognize some of those stuff. Like for example, right, we're talking about strong block. Strong block, as we know, is getting ready to pretty much differentiate themselves from the rest of the node ecospace because they're about to release their own blockchain, which is going to be absolutely insane. They're going to be the first node project out here. We've had thousands now, thousands of node imitators that have made a lot of people money. But when they start to question sustainability, we know Strong is addressing that sustainability by creating their own blockchain. And that comes hand in hand in learning how to look out for those projects.
No, yeah, exactly. Strong's the one really shaping the game. They're coming out with their new coin. They're
Hmm.
going to add governance. The value of the chain will pretty much benefit the whole community.
Absolutely.
They have so much things going on with them where a lot of these projects are kind of just copy and paste at some point.
For
Well,
sure.
what I like to do is I try to look for projects that are doing something that no other project's been doing.
I agree, and like I said, when my friends and I here look at other node projects, it might be a fork, it might be a straight copy and paste, but can you make money from it? For sure, right? But can you get rug from it? Probably, but that's the risk you have to take. But like we said earlier, it's just a mindset thing, right? It comes with the territory of being in DeFi. You have to be able to take that level of risk, and you have to only invest what you're okay losing in that specific project, so that if it rugs, it doesn't absolutely obliterate you, right? You just put in 2,000, 5,000, whatever you're capable of losing. But if it moons and it starts printing you money and you ROI'd within like a month, then the rest is just, printing you money. So with that, we only got two more questions left, Pipes. We got, what is your survival guide for navigating and making money in the crypto space? Survival guide.
Ooh, survival guide for sure is not to be greedy. When you get greedy, you definitely get wrecked. I seen my portfolio go from 6 figs on one wallet to, 5 figs in like literally in a month or two where, if I would have took profits, I would have just been fine.
Mm-hmm.
So taking profits is key, and knowing when and when not to invest. If a project's close to all-time high, it's a way bigger risk if you buy at that point compared to at the bottom.
Correct.
So when it comes to surviving, a lot of these no projects, one of my tricks is, let's take a look at Fire. Fire's, let's say, 200 and let's say $40 at the moment.
Okay.
And let's take a look at Strong. Strong's what, like 140? So what I would do is, instead of cashing out, I would buy the difference between the two and buy one Strong node and then cash out the rest. Just so I'm still taking some form of profit, but at the same time I'm still compounding, but
Mm-hmm.
into another project where not only am I still making money, but I pretty much made myself a free node.
Were you the one that invented that saying? I saw it roaming around in Twitter where someone was like, we're not really talking about dollar cost averaging, we're dollar cost compounding in here. And so when you're like in these low numbers, like Strong right now, yeah, I just took a look at Deck Screener. Strong is at 121. And for some people, like when I get my 10 tokens, 1,021 isn't game changing enough for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just dollar cost compounding. So I'm gonna take that and just make another node with the fact that we know where Strong is headed. We know what they're building, and we got stronger in the horizon here. So I mean, it's a tough space, because I know you have this issue too. Do you take profits or do you compound?
I'm the worst at taking profits, and I just compound. But this year it's different. This year I'm taking profits for like the first time.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. It's definitely an issue people will realize when they get in this space, that they're like, cool, I'm gonna invest for 3 nodes and then I'm gonna get my ROI back. But the moment they get those 10 tokens, they will have a completely different feeling and a completely different experience, because they could just take that and roll it into a new node. And every single person I know that has gotten in this space has experienced that same issue.
No, yeah, it's really hard. Either you compound or you take profits, but that's why I like to kind of split the two, where
Hmm.
I compound it to another node and then I just take profits in between.
Yep. Yep. That's seriously the best way. I invested in one of the newer projects, and I invested about, I want to say 16,000 in there, right? And it rocketed all the way past 6 figures. And so a lot of people are like, take profits. I was like, I'm gonna take profits slowly. Yes, I can just take my ROI back all in one big sum. But what I decided to do was I would like compound 2 days and then I'd take profits on the third day or something. I would compound 2 days and then take profits to the next day, right? So I was kind of slowly getting my ROI back. I only have like 5,000 left on the table on that project, but taking profits is, I want to say, one of the most difficult things when you're in DeFi.
No, it really is, man. Especially the Deos that say Ohm and Heck. I
Mm-hmm.
invested heavily into those projects. I mean, I bought Heck. It was around 250K at the top when it was like 200 and something. And I mean, look at the price now. I mean, I lost a good amount.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, same thing with Ohm. But in Ohm, I'm actually doing well better off, just because of the 9.9 and me investing into other projects. It's kind of like how you work the market.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that takes skill. That you develop that skill the more you are in this market, the more you're exposed to the market, you learn, and you learn just so much in DeFi, man. I'm saying, like I said, like a week's time, things happen so quickly. Like I've seen projects go from 6 figures to nothing in a week's time because there was some negative catalyst that happened and you had to react quickly. It's just crazy, but you have to learn how to navigate the market, and that takes time inside the market, right? You can't just learn it from someone and say, oh yeah, build 3 nodes and then take profit, because once you build your 3 nodes and you see your first 10 tokens, like you and I said, then you start to experience something that no one can teach you. And that's that feeling of, dang, well, I can just compound it.
No, yeah, exactly. And what I really think the market is going to go, or a lot of these node projects are going to go, how a lot of them are now building a ecosystem. I could see a lot of them having node caps pretty soon. So that's part of the reason why, I kind of take profit, but at the same time compound into the projects, because anytime now, any other project could just announce a node cap, and then that's it. You won't be able to make no more nodes, and it's not like the door closed because they still have other options. But that's where I see the market going. I see a lot of these projects hitting no caps pretty soon, because the sustainability and a lot of people, the sell pressure is just, it's going to tank a lot of these projects down.
For sure. And that is a major issue, right? Because when you have an insane amount of nodes, whether that's 200, 300 strong nodes, you have nothing else to do technically with those but to sell. And that sell pressure is absolutely insane. And I'm sure you saw, right, in Comb, they just said no more nodes, right? And like you said, they're going to start to introduce stuff like that, where it's just no more nodes. This is it. If you didn't get it, that sucks, right? You can still probably try and get one as an NFT. But at
Yeah,
this current moment, it's over. Like Horde, I don't know if you saw that. Horde said that they're going to get, you have a max ROI. So like you can't just continue building nodes and take profits for infinity. Once you get your ROI back, and I think it's like 365 days, that node is maxed out and you can't like print anymore from that node. So I agree. I definitely see a lot more node projects doing caps and max ROIs and stuff like that, which is smart, right? That the space has to continue evolving.
yeah, exactly. And that's where I see everything kind of leading towards, at least for sustainability.
Well, Pipes, I mean, that's everything I got, man. Did you have any other like closing thoughts, closing words for everyone that's, been a fan of you and a follower of you? You got 20.8 thousand followers on Twitter, man. Do you have any like final words or words of wisdom for them?
Yeah, just keep compounding the nodes that you truly believe in and that keep making progress. And those are the ones. I mean, it's all about the team. Doesn't matter if the price is $1,000. If the team sucks or the project, I mean, the project's going to fail. So always focus on the team and the developers behind the project. Don't focus on too much on price.
Yeah, it's easy for people to laser focus on price when, they see the red market and they're like, well, they're super concerned. They're like, well, what's going on? The price is so low. But like you said, as long as you believe in the team, you see that the team is doing stuff. I mean, when I listen to David Moss over on Strong and I listened to his AMAs, the last one, bro, I was so bullish after I heard him. I was like, yeah, I'm stacking more nodes for sure, right?
Yeah,
And and and
exactly.
and you just have to be able to trust in the team. And if you trust in the team, David Moss and his team, they've got blockchain engineering background. They're an engineering team. And David Moss helped create EOS and Block One. So when they're saying they're building their own chain, super bullish. And I'd have to agree 100%. Just keep compounding. Don't look at price. Trust in the team. And how you trust in the team is just you have to do your own research, right? You have to do your own due diligence. Read the white paper, like Pipe says. Do some research on the team. And if you have developed your opinion that this is a good project, then don't look at the price. Just continue stacking those nodes.
Exactly.
Cool, man. Well, Pipes, again, this was an absolute blast for me. Just letting you know, when you post your success, I am one of those people that really does get inspired, and I do get fired up to want to be able to get to that level. So just keep doing your thing, man. I will see you in the Twitter space. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
No problem, brother. Thanks for having me.
For sure. So I hope you guys really did enjoy that video. If you did, please consider smashing that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you guys did find yourselves inspired or feeling hungry to learn more and you guys haven't already, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell down below so you guys are notified every single time I upload new content. Also, if you guys want a free $50 in Bitcoin, I will leave a link in the description below to open a Celsius account where you guys just need to transfer $400 worth of assets and you guys will get access to the $50 in Bitcoin absolutely free. Now, what you do with that Bitcoin is entirely up to you, but it is free money just waiting to be claimed. If you guys have any other questions, just please post them in the comment section below. Life is too freaking short, so eat some delicious food, drink some delicious drinks, do some good in the world, spread some positive vibes, and I'm going to see everyone on the next crypto video next time.